Welcome back. Let us continue, shall we? Oh, greetings, Akira. Come to look in on our friends. Rest assured, everyone is quite well. I've been keeping an close eye on them, and have satisfied myself that they are all in fine health. As a matter of fact, they're just about to convene in Dawn's Respite to discuss how best to use their pent-up energy. Let's join them, shall we?
Well, my friends, now that we have all settled back into our bodies, it is time we resumed our duties in earnest. Let us speak of our plans.
Ever since the Emperor's death, it's been one unsettling rumor after another. I have a mind to pay a visit to Garlemald to ascertain the truth of the matter.
A prudent endeavor. 'Tis of the essence that we establish the full extent of the threat, not least if it should prove that Xenos doth indeed orchestrate events from the shadows. In light of which possibility, I shall accompany thee on thy mission. Be assured that thou shalt find me more a help than a hindrance. Thou requirest another to imbue thine ammunition, dost thou not?
Assuming that's settled, there's something I've been meaning to look into as well.
Welcome back, everyone!
Lise!
You're fine now, right? No more headaches or keeling over?
That's right. We're fighting fit and raring to go.
The famous Lise Hext, former scion and hero of the Alamegan resistance.
I don't believe we've met.
Really? It's so easy to assume that all Archons are acquainted. But then I suppose your fields of expertise are rather different.
Grahatir, at your service. I have read much and more about your exploits, Commander. It is a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance.
Likewise. The others told me all about you.
Do not be so sure. Words scarcely do justice to the vital role he played in our victory in the first. A more dependable comrade one would be hard-pressed to find.
Oh, right. I did glance at the report. But I'd be lying if I said I understood half of it. Well, that's a lot to take in. Just to be clear, this means we're not heading for another calamity, does it?
Shorn of their unsundered master's leadership, what Ascians remain shall struggle to see their plans to fruition. And though I would ever advise caution, I believe we may rest easy for a time.
I'll take that as a yes. Even so, I don't know what to make of this business about Hydaelyn and Zodiac being primals.
A difficult truth to bear, yes.
But at last we understand the nature of our adversary. And if there are no further calamities, neither will there be rejoinings, meaning Zodiac will never regain his full strength. Even so, as the oldest and mightiest of primals, he remains a force to be feared. Though his is a power born of the desire for salvation, we have seen the havoc it may wreak, and it falls to us to ensure that it is never again brought to bear upon this star.
But tell us, Lys, to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit?
What do you mean? Isn't seeing my long-lost comrades reason enough? All right, there was one other matter. I have a message from the Alliance, and before you ask, yes, it's about the Empire. So, after Emperor Varys' assassination, it seems his cousin Nerva made a bid for the throne. The trouble is, he wasn't the only one with designs on it, and it didn't take long for a civil war to break out. And it's not just in the provinces. Early reports say huge swathes of the Imperial capital have been reduced to rubble. The Alliance will soon convene in Alamigo to decide on a course of action, and we were hoping you'd come along.
Well, as it happens, Urianger and I were just this moment planning a little trip to Garlemald, and we should be grateful for any advice the Alliance can provide on how best to make the most of our visit.
To Alamigo, then.
Why don't you go on without me? There's something I need to look into.
Ah, forgive me. You were just telling us. What is it, if I may ask?
I want to find a way to cure the Tempered.
Of course. You think it may be possible to adapt the treatment you use to help those corrupted by the Sin Eaters?
I'm sorry, a cure for tempering? But that would change everything. Alizé, consider yourself uninvited. Go and find us this cure.
I'll do my best. I was hoping you might join me. Don't worry if not, though. I won't hold it against you if you'd rather attend a stuffy meeting. I knew you'd say yes.
I'll come too. If you don't mind, that is.
Mind? I'm sure they would be glad of your company. Pray, enjoy your time together with your hero.
No. That's not... I mean, I simply thought my knowledge might be of some use.
We shall be on our way then. Godspeed.
When Yustela is about, one cannot afford even the slightest slip. Don't worry, I can say with complete confidence that Graha is dressed for anything. When I set out to save Halric, I think Gabu was always at the back of my mind, and having proved that the light corrupted are not lost, I am convinced that the same must be true of the tempered. Similar to those corrupted by the senators, the aether of Gabu's soul has been rendered stagnant. And though the root cause is different, perhaps the solution is the same. It is by no means an unreasonable hypothesis, Alize, and it warrants full investigation. If there is even a chance we can save Gabu, we have to try, but however much I'd like to race over to Limsa and set to work, there's no room for recklessness, not when a child's life is at stake. As I'm sure Baglug would remind us, we still know little and less about the soul. Any number of things could go wrong if we don't exercise due caution. And so, before attempting anything, we would learn all we possibly can about tempering. There's just one problem. Research into the condition has long since grounded to a halt, and the combined work of the many scholars involved doesn't exactly amount to wealth of knowledge. Not of the modern scholars, perhaps, but what of their ancient counterparts. I know the Allegans took a more than passing interest in the subject. And if what we seek is to be found anywhere, it would surely be at the Etherochemical Research Facility, where they experimented on primals and their worshippers. Yes, good thinking. I've never actually been there myself, but I did read the reports on Az's Law, which means we'll be needing an airship. An airship, you say? Meet me at the northern bank of Silvertear Lake. I've got a little surprise for you. Oh, and come prepared to travel. I hope everyone's doing well. I am doing fantastic. Let me just fix something on here. Just Taro? Oh, okay. Oh my god, she looks adorable. Oh my god. Holy crap. I give you the Bonanza, the Scion's very own airship. I built her as a company project with help from our friends at the Rising Stones and named her for luck and prosperity. Taro, this is amazing. We'll be able to fly just about anywhere we want. Our garments were impressive enough, but to build an entire airship, I see the annals did not exaggerate the many talents of the science-fabled coinkeeper. He. I'd also introduce myself as your pilot, accepting the training didn't go quite as well as I hoped, but that's all right because we've hired this capable fellow here instead. The Bonzanza is equipped with a full complement of mana cutters. By the way, feel free to use them to get around as is law. But enough talk. It's time to fly. All aboard! Did I ever mention that I was fond of flying? Because I am. Be it on an airship, an emerald, or a chocobo, there is nothing so exhilarating as feeling the wind on your face as the horizons unfolds before you. Honestly, Sid would be jealous of the way that airship flies. Sitaru has outdone herself. Anyway, here we are on Azizla, and Afno's report did not do the scale of this place justice. So this is where you had your reckoning with Thornton. I wish I'd been there. I wish I'd been with you. This appears to be Helix, which means we stand in the Alpha Quadrant. To the east lies the Beta Quadrant, and yes, I believe I have my bearings, though this is my first time on Azizla. I do have some familiarity with the place thanks to the records in the Crystal Tower. Unless I am mistaken, this path leads to the Aetheryte, beyond which there will be an information terminal. I suggest we begin our search there. Time for our authority on Allegan artifacts to show what he can do. And here is the terminal. A moment while I search the archives for references to tempering. Ah, there we are. Iconic corruption and overview. That sounds promising. Indeed. Let us see what this report has to say. Confound it. The contents appears to have been deleted. What? No, isn't there something you can do? Not from here, I'm afraid, but it may be that another copy of the report exists elsewhere. The question is where to look. It says here the report was written by someone named Owen. is it likely that he kept a copy? I would say it is a distinct possibility, assuming he was a researcher here. He will have had quarters on the Habisphere. We are certain the details at Habisphere Control. Let us return to the Banaza and avail ourselves of the mana cutters. We will need them to reach our destination. I forgot, you already have a suitable means of transportation, don't you? No need to waste time accompanying us back to the airship then. We'll see you at the Habisphere. Well, technically, I can, like, follow you guys. Wait. Oh, they... Oh, 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 oh. Oh, hello there. Alright. It's gotta be a while, so... Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Wait. Has it been since Heavensward since we've been here? I don't remember. I don't recall. The mana cutters appear to be ironworks made, but I dare say Tataru will craft her own soon enough. Biz, welcome to Habisphere Control. How may I assist you? If the late Owen did indeed have a chamber here, this node will be able to tell us its number. There, from what I recall of the layout, it would be somewhere in the vicinity of warning. An evacuation order is presently in effect. Entry to the Habisphere is not permitted at this time. Foiled again. In all likelihood, the order would have been imposed during the Fourth Umbral Calamity, and I doubt it will be lifted in the near future. Energy level critical, returning to base for recharging. Well, surely there must be some other way to gain access, force by example. We resort to that. I have an idea. Were we to send a surge of energy through yonder control mechanism, it should prompt the system to restart releasing the locks. As for a suitable energy source, a concentrated lightning shard might suffice. Happily, I seem to recall that there are known to form at points of stagnant ether throughout the continent. You seem to recall. Are you honestly telling me that was in the records too? Ha, I am. A report sent to the capital mentioned that lightning aspected ether was prone to pooling on the continent, resulting in surges that interfered with equipment. A minor detail, I grant you, but in my role as caretaker of the Crystal Tower, there was no such thing as too much elegant knowledge. Besides, my studies helped me to feel connected to the source, to home. I must have explored this facility 1,000 times in my mind, but to finally stand here with the two of you, 'tis more exhilarating than I can well express. Now then, the lightning shard, if I may, I suggest we split up and search the beta quadrant. Oh, but be aware of sprites. They are wont to manifest where the ether is stagnant. Now, you're just showing off, which makes me think we should make a contest of this. The first to return here with a shard wins. What do you say? Very well, it would be my honor to come third. Oh my god. Ah. Oh, there we are. I'm guessing that's no. Alright, cool. Let's see. No. Yeah, I should do this. Bravo, that was quite a show, adventurer. Why the spectacle proved so enthralling that all thoughts of the prize slipped my mind. I appear to have forfeit our little race. Congratulations, the little lightning shard is yours. Who are you? Show yourself at once. What? No dramatic entrance? You've changed. Very, very funny. Now let's get back to work. Ah, you remember that. In my defense, I was caught up in the moment. It isn't every day you meet an honored, honest to God's hero after all. Well, the contest continues, so you had better hurry back. Ah, but one last thing. Thank you, Akira, for bringing me here. These fucking fanboys. Anyways. You have a shard, then you win. I searched high and low, but couldn't find so much as a trace of stagnant ether. It appears Alice had no luck, so so victory is yours. Congratulations. Now then, may I have the shard? What is that makes you so much better at finding things? What do you have that I don't? That is a question I, too, have asked myself on numerous occasions. I suspect we could both learn a great deal from Akira. And not only about the secrets of adventuring, but come, we should attend to our mission. Excellent. The system responded exactly as intended. We now have access to the Happisphere. Only one obstacle remains: the security system within. Should they be triggered, they could make life rather difficult for us. In light of which, pray leave the rest to me. If I am right, my royal blood should allow me to venture in unmolested. For fuck's sake, don't say unmolested. Holy shit. Assuming this place works like the Crystal Tower, yes, but if it doesn't, you'll be on your own. I want you to promise us that you'll get out at the first sight of trouble. I promise. Wish me luck. Well, nothing for it but to sit tight. I'm sure this Owen fellow was very learned, but iconic corruption, and overview sounds like the studium thesis we all had to write one. Lest you wonder, mine was about the combat applications of ether. I'm nothing if not practical. Afnos was more philosophical, of course, political, dare I say. He chose to write a lengthy discourse of our nation's duty to the world. A controversial subject, to say the least. He asserted that Ashalian's knowledge should rightly be used to protect all life on the star. In direct opposition to the country's cherished policy of non-intervention. Being a leader member of the forum, our father was not happy. At the time, of course, Afno was utterly convinced of his views and would cheerfully argue to the death with anyone who saw things differently, by which I mean the roads were long. To be fair to him, though he's since learned to be a little more open-minded, but deep down, he still holds fast to that one belief, and I admire him for it. I should have liked to meet the young Alfno. For what it's worth, my thesis concerned the Allegan civilization as this depicted in folklore. Oh, you're back. I didn't know you attended the studium. I didn't. A thesis was required to earn my Icon's mark. My peers at the students of Baldelsian convinced me to write one with the promise of unfettered access to forbidden tomes. Though I considered it no more than a means to an end at the time, I will admit it was gratifying to have my efforts acknowledged. Good gods, in Archon's thesis, I shuddered to imagine the work involved, but enough about that. Is this the fruit of your foray? Yes, Owen's archives node. It was waiting for me in his chambers. If a copy of his report still survives, it would be stored in this device. Shall we find out? Initiating scanning for a registered user. Users not found. To proceed as guests, please complete biometric authentication. Verifying. Authentication complete. Guest identified as member of the royal family. I am at your most humbled servants, your highness. It never ceased to amuse me. 'Tis but a pity the effect will not last forever. Daga and Yune said it, as much when they granted me this gift, but until such time as it fades, I shall use it gratefully. Search archive for iconic corruption. Searching, one item found iconic corruption and overview. Your report is locked by the author. Please state password. Well, go on then, Your Highness. Tell the nice node the password. Right, let's see. Glory be to Allegan. Alleg. Long live Emperor Zandi. Bleep boop. Password incorrect. Please try again. Confound it. Come now, passwords are invariably short and simple. For instance, password. The notion that the password could be something so inane would be laughable were it not dangerously stupid. Furthermore, your conduct in the presence of your highness is grossly inappropriate. Know your place, handmaiden. What did that thing just call me? What will you say? Wild Rose Courage? Yeah. Sure. Password incorrect. Again, by warned that any further inappropriate behavior in the presence of His Highness will not be tolerated. Alright, that's it. I say we dismantle it and manually extract what we need. Now, let's not be too hasty. A single misstep, and we risk losing the report altogether. I believe that this may be a task for Sid and his colleagues. If anyone can coax Machina into cooperating, it is them. Come, let us bear the node back to the Rising Stones. Oh, that's fucking hilarious. Fucking password is password. Only people who don't know technology would use password as password. Fine, I'll let Sid try his hand first, but if that doesn't work, we're doing it my way. Okay. Threat detected. I should probably mention that I have yet to meet Sid since waking up. Rembroses did send word to the ironworks, but it appears our friend has been afield on urgent business. Nevertheless, I assure you, my proposal to seek his help is no pretext. However, much I might look forward to seeing him again, him and everyone. But come, let us be on our way. Look at him, all but running. How sweet. Still, it wouldn't do to keep him waiting, shall we? We return to the Rising Stones. Alright. Oops, that's not what I want. Withdraw. Oh, I can't withdraw? Okay, whatever. Begone, Rocky Grunty. Large low-born presence detected. Krell's back too. I wonder what was decided at the council. I take it you have news to share, so do I. I'm pleased to see your mission was a success, and in no small part due to the Bonanza. Wonderful news, Akira. Tataru contacted the Cid on our behalf, and he is on his way here even as we speak. While we wait, I should like very much to hear what transpired at the Alliance Council. Would you be so kind, Kryle? As you know, the meeting was convened to discuss how best to respond to recent events in Garlemald. According to the intelligence from our Doman allies, the War of Succession rages on, and the Empire remains without a leader. Amidst the chaos, the Imperial legions in the provinces have begun to move independently on the motherland. Our greatest concern to us is the Third, a legion aligned with Lord Nerva. It appears they have received substantial financial backing from House Brutus. Brutus, aren't they the ones who took in Yatsuyu and Asahi? These bodes well. Xenos' movements, meanwhile, remain shrouded in mystery. We're hoping that Thancred and Oranje will be able to shed some light on his activities when they return. Until such time as they do, the Allied leaders feel it would be unwise to interfere in the conflict, and so, thanks in part with the Imperial withdrawal from Grimlet, they have decided to turn their attention to the primal problem once more. Working with friendly factions among the beast tribes, they hope to reopen dialogue and explore new avenues for peace. Given the timing, I suspect they wish to put their respective houses in order ahead of decisive clash with the Empire. Whatever their intent, this is not problem easily solved. The Laminsens, in particular, struggle in their effort, and Alfno and Yustola have been called upon to aid them. So long as we are dealing with the tempered, I'm afraid no amount of dialogue will avail us. But if we can develop a treatment for tempering, then anything is possible. Which is why we must succeed. And on the cheery note, why not make yourselves comfortable in Don's respite? I'll show Sid in as soon as he arrives. We've made the respite cozier than ever. You're going to love it. I understand you took a little trip to Asisla. Raha made himself useful, I trust. Did at long last. And important as important as Gabu is to me, I know only too well how much more is at stake here. A cure could change the whole world. Warning, His Highness is exhibiting elevated blood pressure. Lol. Sid! Forgive us for not coming to see you sooner, my friend. As you may have heard, we've had our hands full. In our defense, you are up rather early. I was under the impression you'd be slumbering a while longer. Oh, I would have been had you not fulfilled your promise. I still struggle with the idea from where I stand. The secrets of traversing time and space seem exactly as unfathomable as they ever did. But if an alternate version of myself has already laid them bare, I dare say that frees me up to concentrate on other endeavors. Speaking of which, you wanted my help with something, was it? What is it? Well, a treatment for tempering, and for the next step, we need to find the password to this elegance report. Just so, with nary a clue to guide us, we could be here forever and still not guess correctly, and thus we turned to you. Well, I'd love to say that we could help you, so I will. Once suitably configured, a Magitech terminal should make short work of identifying the password. I knew I could rely on you, now anticipating that it might be of use. I took the liberty of borrowing a tombstone from Rembros. It contains an elegant dictionary. Good thinking. I'll transfer the information to a terminal and set it to work right away. Looks like it's finished. Let's see. Freedom. The password is freedom. Short and simple, just as I said. Would you care to do the honors, Your Highness? I would, milady. Note, open the report titled iconic corruption and overview password freedom. Password accepted. Bloop. Opening report. This report seeks to provide an overview of the mechanism by which icons corrupt and bind men to their will. The phenomenon we call corruption refers to the alteration of the ether of the soul. Said ether originally existed in equilibrium, no one element being more prominent than another. But when a subject is exposed to the ether of an icon, this changes their soul, taking on the properties of the entity in question. By way of example, exposure to the ether of the fiend Sephiroth would cause a subject's ether to become aligned with the element of earth. As a consequence, the subject would attain heightened affinity with earth aspected magics, as well as preternatural levels of endurance. Repeated exposure would further enhance these traits, ultimately altering the subject's very flesh. The changes undergo by the subject are not solely attributable to elemental alignment. However, further testing has determined that the subject's soul becomes umbrally charged or stagnant during the process. This stagnation of the soul has the effect of diluting the the sense of self, rendering the subject vulnerable to the will of the icon and the thoughts of whom come to consume their entire existence. It is in this manner do the corruption become worshippers of the icon, their prayers serving to further empower the entity. Having discerned the mechanism of iconic corruption, my colleagues and I set out to develop a material capable of shielding one from its effects, an endeavor in which we were success, albeit it at at great cost. In our course of testing, many of my assistants, good men and women, all fell victim to corruption, and in accordance with protocol, they were summarily put to death. I subsequently submitted a proposal to investigate potential cures for corruption, but it was rejected, deemed non-essential by Lord Amon. Though I knew it would be fruitless, I protest the decision, and for my impertinence, I have been stripped of rank and title, and will shortly be expelled from this facility. In all likelihood, this report will be expunged from the archives. Nonetheless, I record it in the hope that one day someone will undertake to do that which I could not, and find a cure for the victims of the iconic corruption. End recording. Holy shit. So not even the Allegans were able to find a cure, or rather, were not given the chance to do so. One cannot help but wonder what motivated Lord Amon's decision. More importantly, this confirms that stagnation of the soul is indeed the problem, and Angelo can remedy that. True, yet were we simply to reanimate a tempered soul, I fear it would do not to diminish the individual's fanatic faith. Indeed, it may well intensify it. No, we would somehow need to suppress the primal's hold on the subject at the same time, or risk them ever remaining its thrall. If we could only make them remember who they were, so there's no point in reviving their souls unless we can also restore their sense of self, their But of course, memory transference. The process has the effect of compartmentalizing memories, separating them into manageable bundles, if you will. By adapting the technique, it may be possible to achieve selective reanimation. That is, limit the effects to only those memories that existed prior to tempering. Through thus restoring the sense of self, we could theoretically drown out the incitements of false faith, which had come to dominate the individual's thoughts. I see. The theory should sound, and our experience treating the light corrupted would help us to identifying suitable memories for reanimation. But are we? My brain's not working. But are you confident you can adapt memory transference as required? I seem to recall your attempts to do so while trying to bring us home culminated in literal bloodletting. They did. You are right. Despite my best efforts, I could not recreate the mechanism, and I concede that the rather clumsy compromise I reached would not provide the basis for a cure. Then perhaps it's better than we consider another approach. Your doubts are understandable, but this time I believe we have reason to be confident. You see, nodes such as this were built with the ability to simulate magics, which leads me to believe that it may be capable of performing simulations of the transference technique. If so, we would be able to conduct years' worth of tests within the space of a few days. In theory, it would be no different from how we identified the password. But it'll take more calculating power, a lot more. I honestly could say whether our equipment would be up to the task. Tell me, Sid, why do you suppose Owen locked his report behind a password? To keep it from prying eyes, of course. Why else? Wait, a password that could be guessed by anyone with leisure and a dictionary wouldn't keep it from a person minded to look. No, he wanted his report to be seen by those who strive for freedom. Not unlike the members of the certain distinguished engineering collective, I believe their motto was freedom through technology, or some such. You two, round up as many Magitech terminals as you can find and bring them to the workshop. Right away, Chief. Things are about to get very busy. Luckily, we have you to help, eh? Suffice it to say, I shall be on whatever help I can. All those Magitech terminals won't come cheap. Ugh, shut up, Tataru. Some things you shouldn't put a price on. As with our first foray into the labyrinth of the ancients, we seek to venture into the unknown, and in order to succeed, we require not only knowledge and preparation, but daring. Besides, just like old times. We're getting there, Akira, one step at a time. You got it. Right, while Grahatia and I configure the terminals, I want the rest of you to procure supplies. Namely, Crelulium to fuel the terminals and eye shards to keep them cool. The more we have of both, the better. Leave the eye shards to me. I'll round up some adventurers and go on a gathering spree. In that case, I'll trust Akira and Alize with the Crelulium here's a promissionary note for each of you. Take them to the Sky Steel Manufactory in Isgard and the Cerulean Processing Plant in Thanalion. The people there will give you what we need. Yours is well known face in the Holy See, I believe. If it's all the same to you, I'll head to Thanalion. We shall see to it the terminals are ready by the time you return. If LSA bound for the selenium processing plant, you'll want to take yourself to the Sky Steel Manufactory. Off you go now. Whew. The workshop hasn't been used for a while. I'll have to give it a good clean. Wait, did I talk to Graha again? Okay. I think this is a good time to stop it for right now. We shall continue in the next episode. Till then, fare thee well.